Mikrofon juga ni.
Okay, macam mana?
Sorry, aku kaki pegang dua je.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. First of all, thank you very much, Professor Karim, for allowing the HOD, place of department, the deans and the deputy deans, and even the council for the university, all here are gathered here today. Basically, because we all realize that change is inevitable. We all need to change. The question is sometimes, to most of us who's not familiar, is trying to overcome the fear of change. And that fear can only be overcome if we experience it ourselves. If we now go through it and actually realize that it's not as difficult as we think. But because we've never done it before, we keep on saying, what is this all about? What's wrong with the current way of doing things? As long as students learn, what is the problem, right? But now we realize that with the advent of the digital age, it makes learning different, better probably, and in fact, it's very quick because in the sense that it is so important. I mean, we realize that to move into the fourth industrial, or whatever you want to call it, whether there is a fourth industrial revolution, but essentially to be able to rise above the challenge of the 21st century is so very important that we all understand critical thinking, problem solving, and to be able to realize that sometimes teaching is not about telling the students what the information is to allow the students to learn on their own what that information is all about, so that that knowledge is now learned. So, and this is a new way of approach, probably a much better way from the way we had learned before during our time, but I think we owe it to the students. It's no longer about us, it's about the student. They are the ones who want to learn. Did we really do our very best to allow them to learn? And if we have not done that, then it's high time that we do it. And that's why at University Science Malaysia, we asked Professor Karim to actually have a private tutorial session to all of us, young and old and separa tua, whatever, and all that. So in order for us to have now privacy, closed room, nobody's looking, I hope the millions of viewers, that whatever it is, do not but please say that we are brave enough to actually want to change, because we think that what we're doing now is meant for a better learning experience to the students of University Science Malaysia. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, I applaud you for crossing that bridge to want to come to be able to come to this place and learn. And I hope from now, it's no longer about, well, now that we have overcome that first fear, the next thing is to proceed, as Karim had mentioned, to do a much better job in our fields, in our discipline, so that, either in the social science or in the science or in the arts, whatever, there's always a creation of a good learning experience for the students. I think we all owe them that, and you never know, some of the things that we have done is essentially world-class standards. As far as I'm concerned, it's not that we are not good enough, it's probably we do not know enough of the new delivery mode. But the knowledge that we have can now be presented in a more palatable way, suitable and relevant to the millennials. And this is what it's all about. I'm sure most of us have a communication gap in trying to be able to relate to the new millennials who are now under 30 years of age. So most of us in the room are over 30 and therefore need to learn, and that is why I thank Karim and his team for actually helping us how to move to activity 2, activity 3, and finding our way in the computer, how actually to record things. But I like the concept, and I would like to say I think he has taught us very well today for a 101 session. I think that's pretty good, and we learned quite a lot, and we had fun. And that, I think, is the most important learning experience. Learning without tears. Learning can be fun, and at the same time enhance the student to be very knowledgeable. Because by doing this, I think that the brain will retain the information longer, because they had fun doing it. They actually can analyze things in a faster way. Sometimes with that Kahoot game, it made us want to move fast, and you can tell because those who did not win are those who are very slow and those who need more than 10 seconds to think things through. But anyway, it was a good mental exercise for all of us. So I think the microphone is now off, but that should tell me that it's time to say thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, let's say thank you to Professor Karim and team in the usual manner.